Hi, Jake Paul. Do you really think that you're gonna beat Mike Tyson?
Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
It's a red light, brother.
It's gonna be tough.
You lying?
Can we cut? It's hot. Can you get the W deodorant?
At all.
Jake Paul has reacted to Mike Tyson's new training video after his health scare. Due to a recent health issue, Mike has had to postpone his upcoming fight against Jake until November. However, Mike still thinks that he is going to knock out Jake.
Different date, same fate. I'm gonna knock out Jake Paul.
In the interim, Jake has secured a new opponent. Most Valuable Promotions revealed that Jake will indeed enter the ring on July 20th to face off against MMA star and bare-knuckle boxing champion Mike Perry. Jake said in a statement, "When Paul vs. Tyson was rescheduled, I knew immediately that I wanted to still fight on Saturday, July 20th. Now, as I prepare for my fight against Iron Mike, there's no better opponent for me than Mike Perry." Paul described the 8-round match as a preview for what's expected later this autumn. He said, "This is the perfect experience for me to gain in advance of facing Mike Tyson. But getting that experience comes with risk. Those who know me know I'm a risk taker, and while Platinum Perry might try to end me, I'm Titanium Jake Paul and I fear no man. I'm going to get the W and give everyone a preview of what I'm bringing to the ring against Mike Tyson." Most Valuable Promotions revealed that Paul vs. Tyson will now take place on November 15th. Tyson, who will celebrate his 58th birthday at the end of June, experienced nausea and dizziness during a flight from Miami to Los Angeles last month. His representatives explained in a statement that the episode was caused by an ulcer flare-up occurring about 30 minutes before the plane landed. Tyson was advised to do minimal to light training over the next few weeks and then return to full training with no limitations. Meanwhile, Jake remains committed to his plan of fighting Mike Tyson in November, even though he has scheduled a new bout. He said, "If Tyson wants it, I'm down. The keys are in his hands, and it would be such an honor to step in there with him." Mike Tyson is the one who wanted it to be a pro fight. He's saying he's fine, he's saying he's ready, and all of these things. We're not Mike Tyson's dad, we're not his boss, and if Mike Tyson wants the fight, it would be my honor, and I'm down to do it. Paul continued, telling the Post that there are no obstacles between him and Tyson, and that the legendary boxer is ready to go for his next match. He said he's ready to go, he just needed a couple of weeks, so he's back to training. We're all just praying and hoping that everything is good and he stays healthy. That's first and foremost. He's Mike Tyson at the end of the day. He has lethal knockout power and is very, very experienced. I think it is going to be a brawl regardless. Paul describes the Mike Perry fight as a warm-up match that he put together as a means of staying in shape. He said, "I just want to take a risk. I think I am crazy for this. I definitely am, because I don't think anyone would take the risk in this position. But that's just what makes me different. I'm not slowing down for anyone, and I want to stay active in the gym." Moreover, Jake Paul believes that Perry, who has had several run-ins with the law, including knocking out an elderly guy in Texas when he was having a tantrum outside of a restaurant, has something to gain by trash-talking him. Paul said of Perry, "I think those types of men are the people. I like to talk shit to the most because there's not much there, and they get riled up really easily, and you can talk to them in circles. And then they like to stumble on their words, and then they freak out because all they have done their whole lives is just punch people because they are angry." By many accounts, Perry is the greatest bare-knuckle fighter in the world and even holds the middleweight title in the bare-knuckle fighting championship. Perry and Paul had previously engaged in a boxing sparring session, so they are somewhat acquainted, albeit Paul believes he defeated the mixed martial arts fighter. Paul said, "I just controlled him for 5 rounds. He came forward a lot and had great cardio, took a lot of shots, but at the end of the day, I got the best of him." Paul has fought an MMA fighter 6 times in the last 11 matches. The one defeat came against Tyson Fury's younger half-brother, a boxer. Paul remains keen on entering the cage, eventually, as evidenced by his signing an MMA contract with the Professional Fighters League. However, it doesn't seem like any fight is on the immediate horizon for him. "If they really want to get into the MMA we can run it," Paul said, referring to the MMA fighters he's brought into the boxing ring. He added, "We have been trying to make an MMA fight happen. We tried with Nate Diaz, but to no avail. So it's been difficult to find the right opponent for that. But we're working behind the scenes and doing promotional stuff for them, and I'll be attending some fights soon." However, the delay of the Mike Tyson fight prompts a discussion on whether Paul should prioritize preparing for his future bout with Tyson instead of participating in an interim fight. Daniel Cormier, a seasoned fighter and UFC commentator, expressed apprehension about Jake Paul's potential pitfalls in the upcoming fight. Cormier, having held UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight titles, understands the challenges of taking on successive opponents in quick succession, warning that such a strategy may not be advisable. While talking about the situation in a video on his YT channel, Cormier mentioned that Jake fighting Mike Perry is scheduled to happen in 6 weeks. He added that Jake would then quickly turn around and fight Mike Tyson again in the fall, which seemed rapid to him. Cormier wondered if Jake anticipated taking no damage against Mike Perry. He noted that November 15th was set as the date for Paul vs. Tyson, observing that with fights on both July 20th and November 15th, the timeline appeared quite fast, perhaps even faster than expected.
Paul is fighting Mike Perry on July 20th. So 6 weeks. They're going to fight very soon. He's going to turn around and fight Mike Tyson again in the fall? It's fast. Does he just anticipate he will take no damage against Mike Perry? November 15th is the date for Paul versus Tyson at AT&T Stadium. Now he's going to fight July 20th and November 15th. Seems fast. It seems fast, and maybe.
Cormier believes that Jake Paul's battle with Perry will leave him with injuries that will hinder his ability to play at his peak versus Tyson in November, considering boxing's rigorous nature, involving repeated blows to the face and head, transitioning between fights, within a mere 3-month interval, appears reckless to Cormier. Adding to this, Paul's commitment to PFL through a contract slated for his MMA debut in 2024 suggests that his anticipated first appearance in the sport may have to wait until next year, as assessed by the UFC commentator, given his 2 scheduled fights already this year. Moreover, Cormier added that he was puzzled about what happened to Jake's plans for MMA, mentioning that he thought Jake was going to fight in the PFL. He acknowledged, however, that one thing you couldn't question was that the kid was indeed fighting.
And what happened to MMA? I thought Jake was going to fight MMA. What happened to that? I thought he was going to fight in the PFL. One thing you can't question, though, is the kid is fighting, or his intention is to fight, and it seems as though now he's ready to take on riskier opposition, because for anything you call him, you got to call Mike Perry a fighter. He will fight in any arena created because he ain't afraid of shit.
Paul isn't squaring off against just any average 57-year-old boxer. He's stepping into the ring with none other than the baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson. To stand a chance against Tyson, Paul must bring everything he's got. Despite Paul's youth and taller build giving him an edge, the bout promises to be grueling. In 2018, Jake Paul made his debut in the boxing ring, transitioning from influencer to professional boxer. His entry into the sport has undeniably attracted a broader audience, significantly boosting revenue and overall interest in boxing. However, he has faced criticism from fans who argue that his opponents have not always been legitimate boxers or at their prime. Jake Paul faces criticism for choosing to fight Perry, who lacks popularity and a credible boxing background. However, CBS Combat Sports analyst Luke Thomas commended Paul for challenging an opponent who is not past his physical prime. Thomas stated, "Of course, he's fought Tommy Fury, who was age 23 when they fought, which is not physical prime, but certainly good physical condition. But this is like the peak of Perry's powers all coming together." As for Paul's fight versus Perry, let's hope it's an interesting bout in which, unlike most of his matches, both competitors give each other a hard time. Now, let's go back in history for a minute before their rematch. Mike Tyson was once asked if he was afraid of his fierce adversary, Evander Holyfield, and his response became legendary. "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth," he said. While talking about his altercation with Jake Paul, Mike Perry reiterated the proverb, but added his own interpretation. Perry said on the MMA Hour, "I've had a plan this whole time, and I know Mike Tyson says everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, but I like getting punched in my face, so my plan is coming together quite nicely." Perry's assertion was mocked by Paul, who declared he would knock out his opponent in less than 10 minutes. Paul said, "That's because you're a fucking idiot. What makes me good at fighting is I don't like getting punched in the face, and I practice not to. That's what I am going to teach you in the sport of boxing, you little bitch. This is not bare-knuckle boxing." Paul acknowledged that facing Perry presents a significant danger, since it could jeopardize his planned mega fight with Tyson. Paul added, "I think this fight is going to bring some really entertaining stuff, but it is a major risk. I'm potentially sacrificing the biggest moment and payday of my career if I lose to Mike Perry. These are the positions that I like to put myself in, and feel like I have to put myself in to get better under the lights." Jake Paul further added, "This fight has been brewing for years. Mike Perry has been talking shit to me non-stop for years, and I do think this guy is funny. My official prediction for the fight, 3 rounds or less. I'm calling it now. These guys can't hang with me. Nobody has been able to see my skill for the past year. I've had new coaches, and my development has been amazing. In the midst of ongoing discussions, UFC bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley, who recently joined Jake Paul in his new venture W, has shared his perspective on the Jake versus Mike fight. He believes the YouTuber turned boxer has a real chance against Tyson, a notion he admits sounds unbelievable. O'Malley emphasized the colossal scale of this bout, noting that people of all demographics recognize the significance of Paul stepping into the ring with Tyson. O'Malley criticized Iron Mike for his prolonged absence from active competition. Tyson's last ring appearance was in 2020 when he fought Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition match. So for him to just come up and get a fight, I'm sure he's going to be in as good shape as he possibly could be in. But it's just, it's not his time right now, O'Malley claimed. O'Malley added that although he greatly likes Tyson, he finds it difficult to compete against a young boxer like Paul. O'Malley predicted, "I love Mike Tyson, but I do think Jake's going to get the job done. And I do think 8 2-minute rounds, I believe you could put him away in the later rounds, 5.6, 0.7, 8. I do think you could put him down," which is crazy to even fucking say. Paul has a reputation for challenging high-profile opponents to fights. Recently, a notable boxing legend, former undisputed heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis, expressed openness to facing the young man. Speaking with Fox 29 Philadelphia, Lewis acknowledged Paul's youth might influence the match's dynamics. Nevertheless, Lewis asserted that if Paul encounters Mike Tyson's rapid 10-second flurry and gets hit by one of those punches, he predicts Paul will hit the canvas. Following that, he was asked, "Would you want to fight the winner?" In a situation where he had to answer something, Lewis stated, "I'm not ready to answer that yet, but I hope Tyson saves a little bit of Jake Paul for me." On the other hand, Jake Paul recently used Instagram to ridicule a video of Mike Tyson's recent pad work training. This online taunt intensifies their friendly competition as they gear up for their highly anticipated match, transforming their rivalry into a heated exchange. Mike Tyson displayed his rigorous training regimen in a video aimed at proving his preparedness. Nevertheless, Paul, renowned for his bold maneuvers and mind games, countered by emulating Tyson's technique and swiftness, effectively initiating the first move in their psychological battle. Speaking to USA Today, Paul did not mince words about his intentions. "I love Mike. I'm super respectful of him. It's an honor to be in the ring with him, but I have to end him. It's war. All is fair in love and war. I love the guy, but as soon as it turned into a pro fight, one of us had to die." However, Tyson is taking the fight very seriously, and his impressive fitness after overcoming a health emergency underscores this. Throughout the fight camp, Tyson was sponsored by a sauna company, and he flaunted his figure in a promotional video that was shared on Instagram as he exited the sauna. The iconic boxer appears to be taking his training very seriously, as evidenced by his outstanding physical condition.
3, 2.
Meanwhile, in horrifying new training footage, Mike Tyson is shown working out with speed bags and pads in preparation for his impending bout with Jake Paul.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Okay. You move in. Boom. Almost like the overhand. Boom. Your hands out here, your hands up. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Cause I'm right here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. You can do boom at the same time. As he playing the boom, he go down. It's right here.
Meanwhile, Mike Tyson has spoken since his recent health scare. He said, "Now feeling 100% even though I don't need to be to beat Jake Paul." In addition, Tyson appears well prepared as he attempts to defeat his opponent.
Up in the air.
Furthermore, fighters like David Benavidez have faced a particular issue that can diminish the event's appeal to audiences. Although Benavidez recognized Tyson's formidable fighting spirit, he couldn't help but have concerns about the impact of Tyson's advancing age.
Tyson's age?
Yeah.
But Mike Tyson is always going to be a fighter at heart, you know what I mean? So it's really just how he prepares. And it's going to be a good fight, bro. Jake Paul, I think he knows it. I mean, it's Mike Tyson. You gotta get ready. So we'll see how it turns out.
Delving deeper, the WBC super middleweight contender emphasized how crucial Tyson's preparation was in determining the outcome of the fight. Additionally, he stressed the importance of Paul entering the ring fully prepared to face Tyson.
Hopefully it's not, nothing too crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mike is 60, bro.
That's the only thing that worries me, bro. But like I said, if Mike goes on there and gives Jake a good fight, we're not going to be surprised. You know what I mean?
Mike, and he from Brownsville.
Nevertheless, he was open to the idea of Tyson delivering a fierce performance that could challenge Paul. Benavidez assured that if Tyson indeed put on a strong display, he would be ready to handle any surprises.
Yeah, bro, Mike, he's like I say, he's a world champion. He's a fighter at heart. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be a good fight.
Do you like these type of fights, like the influencer or just the? I don't know what to call it, influencer, but just the fights that's not real boxers in that way. Like, do you like that?
You know what, bro? I don't hate on them. I used to not like them back then, but now that I see that you got these influencers, you got these other people, they're actually showing commitment. They're showing their passion for boxing.
I think Jake.
And at the end, just like Jake.
Despite Tyson's extensive experience, most observers don't expect Paul to win at AT&T Stadium. However, Paul insists the match is evenly balanced, calling it a toss-up. He went on to explain the factors that could work in his favor. Paul said on his podcast, "It's very 50-50. But to the people who don't think I'm going to win, it's like I'm younger, faster, sharper, and can hit at the same levels that he can, and be able to take his punches. It's still uncertain how much, if at all, Tyson's advancing years will affect his strength, speed, and stamina when he faces Paul." Reflecting on the lasting legacy of the legendary Iron Mike, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is confident that Tyson would triumph in a fair fight against Jake Paul. Chavez Jr. offers a straightforward prediction. He said, "If it was a real fight, Mike Tyson with one punch put Jake Paul to sleep." His assessment of the YouTuber's prospects of beating the storied heavyweight is almost unambiguous. Many are speculating about Chavez Jr.'s views on the Paul-Tyson clash, doubting its validity as a serious contest. In response to the growing curiosity, Mike Tyson has publicly addressed the controversy surrounding this much-talked-about Netflix event. Unexpectedly, Tyson confirmed on Fox News that the fight is real, surprising many with his firm declaration.
This is called an exhibition. But if you look up exhibition, you will not see any of the laws that we're fighting under. This is a fight.
Defying all conventions, this showdown guarantees a departure from the usual showcase norms, offering an unrestrained exhibition of talent as emphasized by the 57-year-old legend himself. Nevertheless, dismissing Tyson's prowess based on his age would be a grave mistake. Mike Tyson vehemently dismisses any claims that his best days are over, laughing off the idea that his 27-year-old opponent could surpass him in agility or power.
I don't think he's faster than me.
Right. How hard are you training?
I train every day.
There's a crackling excitement in the air that seems to be everywhere. The entire world seemed to be holding its breath, anxiously awaiting Tyson and Paul's fight. On the other hand, Joe Rogan has reacted to Mike Tyson's latest training video, and he has warned Jake of the massive task that awaited him.
It's weird that we're even talking about it.
100%.
That the fucking guy from Disney is going to fight Mike Tyson, the YouTube kid.
Yeah, I know.
Mike Tyson in his prime. Go back and watch some of those early days. He's just coming at you.
He was
He's just
sick.
moving. There's just so much to calculate, and then bombs are coming your way, and you're trying to hit it with jabs.
Despite his age of 57, Mike Tyson's unwavering confidence in his skills and readiness has astounded the boxing community. His remarkable power and precision during training sessions have left observers in awe. Joe Rogan delved into Tyson's unconventional training regimen, highlighting its use of electrical muscle stimulation as a crucial tool for injury recovery.
And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation that I've talked to some people that do that, and it has massive benefits of rehabilitating injuries. And it also, for a lot of people, gives them significant gains when they use it as opposed to just using weightlifting. I don't know too much about the science behind it. When Jamie comes back, we'll have him look it up, but you slap electrodes onto yourself. They put these pads on you, and it's hooked up to a machine.
While Tyson deals with the difficulties of growing older and ongoing sciatica, his team is committed to changing the way people perceive him. They aim to emphasize his persistent prowess against overwhelming odds, rather than his advanced age and physical infirmities. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.